Hi, I'm Matt Turlock. I'm a Canadian engineer by trade, and I am now about to graduate with dual masters in architecture and structural engineering. When I left my engineering job in Canada, my boss was dismissive of my decision to study architecture. During my first semester of architecture, I was often told to think less like an engineer, and rightly so. I'm an architect who likes math and an engineer who likes drawing, and I'm still figuring out my role in the profession. The creative and arguably necessary tension between these two professions serves as the heart of my thesis. Professional relationships are paralleled by the design tools that support them. Computational design brings the AEC industry, architecture, engineering, and construction, closer to confining architects and engineers to black boxes. Should the confines of this black box be embraced? Donald Schoen establishes architecture as problem setting, necessitating both the desired end result and variables of design. However, the independent manipulation of these variables is not nearly as provocative as the creative tension that arises through their interaction. This creative tension is endemic to the design process. The architect and the engineer are famously intertwined, yet ever at odds. Works born from the creative tension between architect and engineer are beautiful, not just for their final form, but also for the elegant process by which the forms were created. Despite the proven success of this dynamic, this productive tension is under threat. The AEC industry increasingly demands expertise in highly specialized domains, further siloing these two disciplines. Per Sherry Turkle, the nature of tools is related to the social relationships that they serve. Computational tools parallel the confinement of architectural and structural design activity to a box. Computational aids have become opaque expert tools wielded by non-experts, intended to be called upon with little interrogation and even less reflection. Should the confines of this black box be embraced? Or should the diverging disciplines of architecture and engineering be reunited under the banner of a modern master builder? Can a dilettante designer capture the elegance of structurally derived architecture, or is a broader expertise required? This thesis speculates on the return of the master builder, the synthesis of architect, engineer, and builder in the context of computational design. This new social configuration requires new tools to replace the isolating black boxes. New computational methods of design are here developed to support a reconfigured relationship between architect and engineer, focusing specifically on the design and dual evaluation of tension net structures. A new generative design method is established that accounts for architectural aesthetics and structural performance through a dual evaluation cycle. First, digital tension net structures are independently analyzed by highly specialized experts or critics. An expert architectural machine learning model is trained to recognize expressive qualities. Here, a spectrum from clumsy to graceful. An engineering critic evaluates quantitative structural performance based on a simplified strain valuation. These experts are deployed in the evaluation of a larger generative design cycle, offering critiques of candidate designs from their points of view. Such a tool is productive of not only balanced design solutions, but solution sets that can eliminate desires independently. Here, the architectural expert attempts to optimize the attractiveness of a net. Is it hot or is it not? This thesis research serves as the basis for a paper I authored with Professor Steinfeld for the Design Modeling Symposium in Berlin, and has fostered my interest in pursuing a PhD in computational design. Further, this tool allows for flexible application, reconfigurable to the desires of clients. Approached by Airbnb to install a series of suspended camping units for bougie adventurers, tension net structures are here introduced to a remote canyon site. The net is anchored at multiple locations across the canyon, with variable density cable nets creating occupiable space. This dense cable net creates a path, guiding visitors through a suspended campsite and over the canyon. Moments of enclosure are offered through the placement of objects within tension rings, offering the ability to occupy previously unreachable spaces, sleep above the canyon, or gather around a central fire. Bridging architecture, structure, and computational design, this research begins to foster multidisciplinary exploration of structurally derived forms and asks if a new profession is emerging. Application of the computational tool to further sites or introduction of a new expertise would expand the breadth of the research and collaborative potential. Thank you.